Oh, the bells are ringing. The bells are ringing. Lady brought me a sandwich here. Good morning, all y'all out there in science land. Doober's got half of a... Jesus Christ, what the hell did they... This is half a sandwich. How the hell am I supposed to... I can't eat this. Not on live stream, at least. Jesus Christ, I'll have to, like, take a bite off camera. Oh, I should probably throw a at everyone tag up in there to get all the gang from... Wiki, Science and Becky. Let's see who's joining us here. Oh, Doobie's here. Of course, Doobie's around. I got my favorite mug. The one when I forget my mug. Got to bring my own mug. We got a couple people here. I got a sandwich. I got a jar. We can get this going in a minute. I don't know. Who's? Oh, JJ Kitchen was live. He's probably still got some folks over in his stream. I'm sure we'll see him in the not terribly distant future. What's up, Apprentice? Y'all can click the link, you know, if you want to join me over here in the discussion. I got my heady set on. But while I've got the mic and nobody else is joining me yet, and we got a couple people watching. Some big shit been going down in Dooberville. Not Doobie Dooberville, but like my Dooberville. So we may have to tear down the TIE Fighter and move this show on the road in the very near future. It's kind of an odd situation, but it is what it is, and we're gonna move forward. And hopefully this takes us to bigger and better places. That's fine, Apprentice. If you can't join us right now, I understand totally. I know it's Sunday. Everybody got fam stuff to do. Lefty's out house hunting. He'd join us, but he had things to do. So I did I always explain these things, and I rarely have one to show. So I brought one for show and tell today. This is the curing jar that we're going to be dropping on the channel. I will have this up on the my Patreon for pre-order for folks that want to get a hold of one. Everybody always asks me about these. They love the curing jars. It's giant. It holds a nice amount. You could fit, 120 grams or so, quarter pound in here if your nugs are good and dense. A little less if you're fluffy stuff. But and it has the like I was showing. It controls the temp, or it shows you the temperature and the humidity of the jar the whole time. Got a couple different models planned. We're probably going to do one that's all blacked out for people who want one to that don't have a dark place to put their things already. We'll make it a dark place for you. But we're going to be doing that, and Mischief Mike kind of touched on something. Was it last Sunday? I don't know. Monday, something. They all run together. It's been a wild week for Doober, but Mischief Mike was saying something. I was explaining my method for making the kind of knockoff boost. I don't know how else to explain that, but I'm answering small tubes here. He's asking in Discord what that link will do. And I'm like, that link will take you to YouTube. YouTube, what up, YouTube? So, yeah, that link will take you live, and then you can be on the panel. That's how it works. We got Reddit freaking blowing up over here. We've integrated a Reddit feed into the Science channel to promote discussion and intrigue and whatnot. Let's see. Oh, not bad. It's only 11 minutes after. We're already getting a good start on. Yeah, bigger and better things, hopefully. Well, I don't know about how much bigger. I kind of want to keep it small. We're not trying to go gigantic, but it would be nice to have something more safe and stable. My whole thing's all about stability and consistency. If you can do consistent work in a small area, there's no reason you can't just consistently do good work in a small area. There's still plenty of demand out there for flowers that have been grown with a loving hand and not necessarily in gigantic volume. But that doesn't mean we can't grow in a respectable volume. I've been spending the last year kind of fine-tuning my methodology. So I think I've got the tools in my bag now to be able to make more production runs, which is something I've been always talking about wanting to do, and getting away from the like mad pheno hunt lab shit. Because I mean, it's great and it's fun. It's a blast to dig for rare phenos and whatnot. But if you're looking to make a living, you got to be willing to make some sacrifices in maybe your fun time of the pheno lab for a little more production run for the value of its own weight. And I know I'm not the only one that's had a crazy week. I know YouTube's been getting shook up left and fucking right, and then people's channels been getting banned and live stream privileges revoked and whatever for smoking on streams and dabbing on streams and pretty much anything that YouTube deems as pissing against the wind. But like hopefully this will all kind of be an impetus to get us to move forward. And I think I've got the tools. I just got to make the magic happen and get into a place where we can do this. It's tricky being in SoCal. Everything's like crazy. You need to downsize in a few years. That's good that you've got a plan already for that, Doobie, too. Downsizing's good. We were actually kind of coming up on that. My oldest daughter is going to be graduating here this year, and she's 18 and planning on moving along in the not terribly distant future and kind of doing her thing as well. So that would, we would be looking to downsize. I just wasn't looking to downsize quite today, but today it is. So today it is, and we'll just push forward and see what. Like I said, praise the Lord and pass the Mycorrhizae. I don't know. Did I put that in the? I think I put that in the description. So yeah, if anybody's interested in getting a hold of those curing jars, we're going to have them on the Patreon site, and also available on mardoober.com. We're going to be working out some kind of bulk deal as well if people want to buy multiples, because I know some folks don't want just 1 or 2 jars. They need 10 or 12 or whatever, because they got mad stuff they want to store. So these are ideal for making sure that your cure is on point, that your store is on point, and that you don't over or underdo it. Make sure your Integra packs or Bovita packs are still performing as they should. It's kind of a safety check. And it also kind of allows you to run without the need of packs. So I'm going to do that. We're going to see if we can push forward with that. We're also going to work on that, like I said, that Boost alternative that everybody always complains that Boost costs a goddamn fortune, and why is it got to be so expensive? And same thing I hear all the time about Mammoth P. Why is Mammoth P got to be so expensive? Is that really that specific of a blend going to do that much good to warrant the initial cost? And a lot of guys swear by it. You know what I mean? I see a ton of people, and while I don't 100% get behind the hype of the specific blend of microbes in Mammoth P, I do fully understand the importance of using microbes of various different families in order to improve your rhizosphere and get the maximum amount of maximum amount out of your whatever your nutrients are, whether they be organic nutrients or salt-based nutrients. Doesn't really matter. Either way, the healthy rhizosphere is going to have a better rate of uptake of nutrients. Oh, what's going on, Green Diamond? How come you don't have a wrench? You must be always hanging out in the screen and not in chat. Let's give you a wrench. Green Diamond has been wrenched. That's all right. And yeah, if you can't show up, I understand. I'll hold down the stream. I'll hold down the fort. That's kind of what Doober's here for, is to Me and Lefty have been talking on the phone a lot lately, and passing ideas back around and forth. And, whether I like it or not, I've kind of become the face of the freaking group, and I don't do it for any personal glory, but if I'm going to be the face, I might as well use that face to the group's benefit. I don't know how that all works, but yeah, I mean, there's other opportunities out there, in the but like I'm talking about doing nutrients and curing jars and stuff. There's other opportunities out there in the cannabis world that are not 100% cannabis related, so they are much easier to deal with. You don't have to worry about shipping them, and are they going to make it, or is it going to get stopped at customs, and can I order it, is it legal? Anybody can buy a jar anywhere in the world, it doesn't matter. And I see a lot of products out there that are kind of flooding this market that are almost specifically designed to fleece growers. They've got all these things out there, and they're way overpricing. Lefty and I were talking about how so many of these items are made in China, and they just slap different stickers on them and sell them over here under different companies' labels with the whatever brand it is on it, making it a value added thing because that's their brand of whatever. Where in reality, they're all getting the same product from the same place, and everybody's ordering it from the same damn warehouse in China, and it doesn't really matter, whose product you buy, because it all comes from garbage Chinese manufacturers. Well, not garbage. Okay, so we're all using this stuff. All of these components. I mean, you start breaking almost anything that you buy in a first world nation apart, and you're going to start finding it's made of Chinese components, if not made in China completely. It's where all the labor is right now, and all the manufacturing is right now, and that's just kind of how it is as far as a global socioeconomic standpoint. All the manufacturing jobs are happening in third world countries, so it's all made in China or India, and it drives me nuts when I see something that costs somebody, like these jars are going to cost me like $4 and change to make. So I figure if I've got less than $5 in it, I could sell it for 10 and make a decent profit without making a killing and trying to rip people off. I figure making 100% is fair. When I see people out there making 300 or 400% for their minimal amount of work, I don't know how many of y'all have seen the Mammoth P brewing facilities, but it's kind of interesting. And while I don't doubt they're doing amazing scientific work, it also seems very simplistic and very much like any other kind of microbe happy environment. And while they are controlling environments and whatnot, that's something like any grower does on a regular basis anyway. So how much more difficult would it be to foster that? And that's what I've been focusing on with this kind of boost alternative, is making something that is a kind of balance between that triacantanol that people like because of the increase in internodal growth, which is where the triacantanol comes in handy. It makes the calyxes a little more swollen, and it makes sure that the growth between nodes is maximized, kind of. That's the idea behind Boost, essentially, and the triacantanol within. When I first bought my first canister of Boost, I looked at it and was like, 010, what the hell is in this shit? If it doesn't have any numbers, what micronutrients, beneficial microorganisms, what's in here? And turns out it was indeed micronutrients. You know what I mean? Boost is the active ingredient in it is triacantanol, which is extracted from alfalfa. So I went and started doing research on how exactly to get triacantanol out of alfalfa meal and into a concentrated formula that you could then apply to your plants and get that same kind of benefit in growth that you get with Boost at a far lower cost. I don't understand why that stuff's got to be $100 a goddamn liter. It's ridiculous. I mean, I see those guys buying the 5-liter jugs of Boost out there, and it's like $300 or $400. It's crazy. Why would you pay so much for something that is essentially a natural extract And while I understand that Canna makes great products and their stuff is really stable, and I've loved their products and I've used them time and time again with great results, I also believe that there are, with somebody with a little bit of intelligence and time to spend making these recipes right and setting things up the right way, that there's far easier ways. I mean, Canna is by no means organic. It's a total salt-based, liquid bottled nutrient, which means that largely what you're paying for is pH balanced water with nutrient solution dissolved in it. So you might as well kind of dissolve your own salts, and that's kind of where I see a lot of the kind of forward-looking growers going, is to a method of either no-till or low-till, like kind of Dr. Budswell with his 5-year-old recycled organic living soil, or like Loki Grow with just straight Jack's 321 and pool shock, and keep it clean and keep it the appropriate nutrients fed. I mean, Green Diamond's having fantastic results. What up, the American one? Green Diamond's having fantastic results there, because it's all about, it reminds me of those, y'all remember Power Thirst, those old joke commercials? It's got what plants crave. So it is what it is. It's got what plants crave. And if you know what plants need to facilitate healthy growth, it's all about just giving them that regardless. I mean, that's why hydroponics work. I've been watching some really interesting videos. I don't know if any of y'all follow Jeb Gardner, but he's hilarious. He's not exactly the science type, okay? But he's very much our brand of people. And he does these really neat experiments with, I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with the Kratky method of hydroponic growing. And it's really unique. And while it doesn't seem like he always has the best success, it's interesting to watch him try and grow things with this bizarre, to me as a grower, it's a bizarre hydroponic method, seeing no air stones, no added agitation, no added water or pH checking or anything. I mean, the guy literally just chucks newts in tanks of water and let shit grow in them. It's weird as hell, but it works. What's up, Undercover Grower? You decided to join us today?
Absolutely. Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Well, I'm glad you didn't have to work. We just got on the other end of a storm here, so we're kind of clear skies and cool breezes. But all in all, nice day in SoCal. Flags are flying behind me, America.
I kind of got carried away. I've been trying to hook up my. I got a new flood table for the veg and the tent, and I went and got another res and all of that. And as it turns out, I'm gonna have to cut some PVC and raise the shelf, raise up the table that the flood tray is sitting on. Mm-hmm. Because I have absolutely no room to work as far as like when I would go to do a res change. I mean, there's even
no
enough
gap
room
underneath.
Yeah, you can't even reach up and disconnect the hoses or anything to pull the res out. So I need about 6 inches. So I'm gonna.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut some PVC and go with that. But I'm not doing it today. Fuck it. I'll do it later.
Not today, huh? Yeah, well, we're gonna have to be tearing down the TIE Fighter here mid-flower, so it's gonna be interesting. We're definitely gonna do a Doober Monday from the TIE Fighter tomorrow, if possible, as long as the internet is willing.
I hate to do that too, man. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I was talking with Lefty about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I totally forgot about the garden." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, that's like gotta go somewhere. I got gorgeous plants in there that just started flowering. I had 30 days ain't gonna finish anything, and
that and the whole stress of moving them around, and
I'd rather get that done in the first couple of weeks of flower if possible.
Absolutely, but still, don't be surprised if you have a few issues.
If I have a few issues with moving them,
well, they're the results of moving them.
Yeah, I know, and they're tall. I might even have to like borrow a homie's van. I think that's probably how it's going to go down. I'm probably going to have to borrow a buddy's van, and then something that's tall enough to transport them all without having to like bend anybody over or lay anybody on their side. Because I'm not shitting you, they're almost as tall as I am. Most of them are 5 foot, and they haven't even started the stretch. They're like day 7 of flower today.
Go back.
I mean, day 7 since flip.
And locate one of those. I seen an ad or something one day. I think it was on IG about a mobile grow room. They had taken a Featherlight trailer, like a 2-car trailer, and made that fucker into a whole full service grow room.
My brother actually has that. He purchased a back off of a truck. Like it needs it's the box off a box truck. It needs a truck to put it on, but it's the box, and it's got that kind of clear or opaque top. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He's been fantasizing about turning that into a grow box for a while.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I actually got a bead on a property down here that's somewhat reasonable in price and happens to have an acre with it. So there's that. While we do live in the kind of rural area of the mountains, we don't really have a whole lot of yard where we're at, and having that amount of space outdoors to get things done, you know what I mean, would be amazing.
Hell yeah. Until time to mow it.
No, goats, man.
There you go.
Dude, no, it's got a barn, the whole 9.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, a little barn, but it's a barn. Keep the roof over the chickens' heads for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I almost didn't make it today. I was running late, and I was like, got a lot of shit on my plate, and I'm running around trying to get shit all lined up. And I finally talked to my fam today. There's been some shit going on with them. I mean, it's been a wild week for me, dude. Just absolutely all over the damn place.
You know, that makes
I almost didn't. Yeah, and I know a lot of people have been having that. Yeah, it's been an interesting. It's been an interesting
like you
week.
had a rough week last week too, so.
I've been having a couple of them lately. I think I got too many irons in the fire, not enough hands. That's me and Lefty were talking about that today, and utilizing the group a little better for the multiple hands that we've got.
Yeah,
trying to get
where's everybody at, man?
I don't know, taking a nap. It's Sunday. Lefty's out house hunting. Apprentice can't come. He said something. He can't right now, but he might be later. I don't know. But Green Diamond's in chat. He's leaving us holding down the stream.
What up,
I don't know. Yeah, we got a few folks in chat hanging out. You know how it is. It's always kind of a slow start. An hour in or so, it starts picking up steam. It is what it is. Yeah. I don't know. I ain't trying to break my balls over it.
Yeah,
like I said, I almost didn't make it today, but yesterday I went on a hike and shot some video. I was trying to get it out last night, but I had to go do karaoke and crap, and it was a long night. But I went on a hike and to this really kind of bitchin' spot that I grew up going to. Is like the world's oldest freaking tree. It's amazing. Probably have a picture of it here I can show. But I went on a little soul searching mission and went and talked to my tree and shot some video out there and was working on putting it together. Yeah. I'm of Celtic descent, man. Like my people talk to the trees. So I was out there. I had to go run. Everything's going sideways. I had to go run everything by my tree.
I cut down the oldest of the 2 blue dreams that I'm flowering. I cut down the oldest one last night.
I saw that.
Yeah. So the grow room was already dark, and so I was forced to hang it in my room, my bedroom. And man, what a wonderful night. Every time I got up to load the stove or use the bathroom, what a great smell. I come back in my room and it just floors your ass. I mean, it just reeks. And Yeah, I went to sleep. Each time I went back to sleep having blue dreams.
Blue dreams. Yep.
Yeah, buddy,
That's
man, that
nice.
smell is just so fucking. I love that smell. That's one of my favorite things about that strain. It's just, it's you can spot it anywhere, and if certain things have been bred with it, you'll get little faint hints of it, and it's just like you're smelling Christmas. It's crazy.
Yep.
While this one was not as large as most of them that I grow, the buds included, I think it seems to be a little more triked out than some of the last few. I mean, they were amazingly coated as well, but man, this one is just really terpy, really super terpy. Yeah, you know, a lot of times in my room last night, my bedroom, my son had shut the door earlier in the evening, so no heat was getting in there. And when I took the plants in there to hang that shit up in there, it was really cold, and I was amazed at how well you could still smell the damn pot, man. It was just crazy.
Well, about drying in the cold though.
Well,
One
no,
thing
it's
in the
back.
winter.
I moved it into, as quick as the lights came on this morning. It's in the grow room. That closet that I was in, my veg closet, is now the drying closet, complete with hygrometer. It has exhaust if needed, and I can control my environment. So
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah, I just have a corner of my bedroom that we hang them in. And it's the most like stable environment in the house because like the bedroom always stays kind of warmish and you know not terribly dry.
yeah. The problem with mine is if I leave it, I have dried some before right there, but um, it's like a lot of heat will gang up right there from the wood stove, and it's kind of a high corner in my room as it is behind the door, and yeah, if you're not careful, that shit will be brittle inside of 2 days, and
Yep.
it'll lose all the terpenes and everything. So I couldn't leave it there long, and when I moved it first thing this morning, it was still nice and terpy. So this should be good. In about 8 days, I'll be able to. It'll be to where I can actually smoke it, and it'll do pretty good. And then it'll go to the jar.
Well, oh, speaking of jars, did you see the jar I had up earlier?
I've not even been on this morning. Well,
No,
brief.
I was showing it in
Oh
in
no,
the Hangouts.
I wasn't on then.
You see that?
Right on me. Yeah.
I mean that's a big one. That's damn near head size, right? It's like a
Right.
2.5 quart.
Get a couple ounces
And
in
then-
that.
You can get a QP in there if you're judicious.
Right. Oh,
If
I
your
love it.
nugs. See that?
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
So I'm planning on putting these out for $10 a pop. I think that's fair. I think people would snap them suckers up at $10 a pop.
I want 2 of them.
Yeah, there you go. Pre-sold.
Really,
I know. I'm gonna have a link up tomorrow on Patreon. I'm gonna put them through the Patreon. I think do it
Dan,
that
do
way.
you have a PayPal account? That'd be so much easier for me.
Well, yeah, but if you do it through, well, yeah, I have a PayPal and Venmo and all that nonsense too. I may do them through there on the website as well for people who don't want to do the Patreon thing. But I'm trying to kind of like kick the Patreon over because it's got like a monthly thing, you know, recurring.
PayPal request. That'd be so easy. In fact, when I order seeds from Lumberjack, I don't mean to be special, but most of the time, Paul will
Just send you a PayPal.
Yeah, it's just easier that way. The first time I ever ordered, I went the other route, and it somehow or another, some shit got fucked up, and it kept telling me like it would take my order, and then the next day I'd get an email saying that it was or the payment couldn't be made for whatever reason, and I knew
And then
damn
you
well.
get And then you
So
get
I-
a PayPal notification.
So I told Paul, I was like, is there any way? And he's like, let me shoot you a PayPal request. I'm fucking bingo, dude. Right there we go. Because I already had a PayPal account.
Yep.
And so that just worked so much easier.
Hell yeah. Well, I'll get that set up on the website too, so we can do a direct thing on the website. You can order them direct or whatever from there.
Awesome.
For sure. And I'm also doing that the wannabe boost I'm going to start doing a run of that, and I will be getting some samples of that out to the guys in the science crew as soon as I've got a batch big enough to hand out.
What is it, like alfalfa meal and shit?
It's a triacantanol extract that I've been making myself for about a year, and takes the place of both. Now I have been inoculating mine with beneficial microbes as well. So I'm kind of making, it's not just Boost, it's kind of like somewhere between Boost and Mammoth P.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so like I'm like, why not do both at the same time, since they like to live in the same environment? You know, the alfalfa extract makes it excellent home for many of those microbes, especially if you give them a little sugar so that they can stabilize their populations, a little molasses, and that alfalfa extract makes a fantastic home for microbes. So I'm thinking about making something that's got a specified CFU count that I can remake regularly, you know, and I'll microdose the microbes into it as it's packaged. So it'll be the extract and then the microbes, so that each one's got the same amount of microbes added to it.
Yeah. Shoot me a sample if you don't care. I'll try it out.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I want to get some packs out to that like here real quick, so that y'all can see what it does. And then we can get that out to the rest of the world, because it's ridiculous, some of this shit that just costs so much. $100 a liter is too much to spend on nutrients.
Oh my God, dude! I was at my grocery store yesterday picking up that tray, and some good dude come in there right before me and picked up. It was $144 for 500 milliliters of Mammoth P.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, for a half liter.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous. For
a half liter.
That's what
I'm saying, for a half liter. That's stupid.
Yeah, I started speaking up as he was going out about how long I'd been using Photo Plus and how much cheaper it was and shit. You know, I mean, honestly, I don't really see any big difference.
Growmouse did that side by side, and while there was a difference, he's like, it's kind of negligible.
It is.
You know what I mean?
There's so many other variables anyway that if it were just as simple as here's the plant A, plant B, same strain, pour it with plain water with this in it, plain water with that in it, and everything else was the same, it'd be different. But there's so many different variables playing against the experiment to begin with. You know what I'm saying? I think it's all a matter of preference and what it makes the grower feel like. If the grower feels like he's seeing a benefit, then he's getting his money's worth, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And the active ingredients in both of those products are, you know, microbes and alfalfa extracts.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, so why can't I make my own alfalfa extracts, and why can't I throw my own microbes in there and then, like, you know, sell that, but not at such a ridiculous price point? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I ain't looking to become freaking Big Mike over here. I don't want to be like Advanced Nutrients or something, but, you know, I think I could make a decent living for my family, as well as provide a decent product to the community that they could then use to, you know, improve their grows at a reasonable price, instead of an unreasonable one, like when you go in and look at a half liter of Mammoth P and it's $140.
It's crazy. That's why I'll be hitting that Growcentia thing up under a different name.
A liter of Boost is $70.
It is. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the other thing. I mean, like, that's almost Mammoth P price. That's half the price of Mammoth P right there.
Yeah. I've used Boost one time. That's the one can of product that I don't use on a regular basis.
Why don't you use it?
Fucking money.
The price point. I mean, that's the one thing. It works. It does a great job. It's a great addition. It helps, but it's Jesus. You just look at that and you're like,
I've actually cut my whole mix down. I've done away with a couple of bottles, man. I'm using can of A and B, can of Zyme. During veg, obviously, I'll use Rizotonic.
Yeah.
But But other than that, that's about it. In the flour, it's A and B, and in the Canazyme, and then I'm using like today. I just started using the Soul Peak, as they call it, but it's their PK boost.
Yeah.
And I use before that I will use using the Soul. The first 3 weeks of flour, I'll use Soul Big Swell.
I mean, I really
But
think PK is probably the cheapest product for the, bang for the buck as far as can of products go. Even the A and B ain't got nothing on that. That PK is only like $30-something, and it'll 1 liter of that'll get you through freaking 10 harvests. You know what I mean?
I like? You know what I like best about the can of PK 1314 is it's clear.
Yep.
I'm not big
But you
on
watch it. You watch it dump in there. You put that PK in there, and you watch that water instantly go salt like cloudy, like it. You can see it the second you dump it in.
But what I like about it is I can. I'm not big on shit that turns my mix real muddy, because it makes it hard to check my meter against my drops. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's just, you can't see that slight yellow color that I'm going for with the drops if your shit's red mud.
Yep.
But yeah, I've cut back on a lot of. I was using that the Soul Infinity, and there's like 6 different bottles. The entire line, there's 6 different bottles that they want you to use on every fucking res change, man. And I've been cutting them out and seeing the same results, if not better, and saving money. So I'm just going to stick. I kind of whittled it down a little bit, going back to basics.
Let's see here.
Woody just put up a video.
Sorry, am I getting choppy on you?
No, you're good.
Okay. Trying to.
Hey, I want to run something by you when you get a second. When your mind is free.
My mind is free. I'm just doing some computer crap. Wow, what's going on?
So I was talking to Apprentice yesterday, and it's been a while since I've pulled one of my plants and make it a sacrificial lamb in the name of experiments. So I want to do. I don't know whether to include my normal nutrient line or just use it during maybe a flush or on my days in between, when I just give plain water that's pH'd to 5.8. So I want to take a plant and set it aside and feed that motherfucker with club soda and see what happens.
Why?
Club soda. Why not? Club soda is fucking CO2 enriched water. Let's see if it does.
Yes, but it's usually got. Oh, you mean just like that one time, like during the flush cycle or whatever, or during the plain water cycle?
Well, like maybe get it up a couple weeks in veg, and then just start replacing plain water with.
I may not be 100% correct on this, but I think I am. If I'm right, the roots do not possess the necessary plant parts to utilize CO2. They use oxygen.
Right. But now, I just wonder about that fizzy water. Would it have an effect, good or bad? And that's what I'm wanting to see. If it kills
that's an interesting test, and I'm kind of
also
I'm kind of intrigued.
I am too, bro. That's why I want to do it.
Let's see here.
Says Dooby made his homemade CO2 in his veg in 2 weeks. He got 6 inches of growth, just blew up. Yeah, I've got. I just uploaded a pic to Instagram. I just refilled one of those T&B bottles and hung it right behind my fan in the veg tent.
It's killing it.
Well, we'll see in a few days, maybe. few weeks. I've been kind of experimenting and putting one in that closet. But another reason I wanted to get out of that closet was to get in a tent and have more room, and put one of those bottles in there to where I think I'll see a huge difference in the veg. I've never given any CO2 to any vegging plants, well, or flowering for that matter. But I was noticing this morning when I went in, doing my first inspection of the morning, and my Malibu pie, especially that number 11, my favorite pheno, at this stage in the game, honestly, Doober, they look entirely different than any Malibu pie that I've grown up to this point. At this stage, the calyxes are much beefier. They almost look twisted in a way, and just the whole bud formation is slightly different than what they normally are. I kind of squeezed one, and they're much more hard and dense than any other Malibu that I've grown.
Yeah, Lefty and I were talking about this also. The phenotypic expression, and he was talking about wedding cake was his example. How this guy got a pheno of triangle mints, and that pheno happened to be, super unique, and then he crossed it back and brought it around, and then it's still, but it's essentially triangle mints. It's not really. I mean, it's just a special pheno, and that's kind of how Malibu came around too. Was that it was a special pheno of Jawa pie that was really pineapple-y, and they brought that back around and crossed it over again to get that specific expression back out of it.
Right. Now the differences.
I gotta take a bite of my sandwich.
The differences that I have seen thus far with Malibu pie, I've grown it 4 times now, and each time after it's all over, said and done, and the shit's in the jar, they look the same. And I can tell you that these will not look like the last ones. I already know they're going to look different, just by the way that they're forming up. Now, that real tall one that's got 2 heads, and the 3-headed one, those 2 look more like what it normally looks like, as far as really round golf ball buds. But the number 2 and the number 11 are really different, and I kind of wonder if I kind of attribute a lot of that to the T and B.
Well, environmental factors can cause different expressions. That's why people run
Absolutely.
different lighting, or 11-13s, or
I do that.
Certain temperature. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why people modify their environment, is to get the maximum expression out of specific phenotypes.
Yeah, and also I started seeing on all 4 of them, or all 5 of them rather, trichomes, really heavy trichomes by day 20. I mean, at day 16, I was like, wow, this son of a bitch has got trichomes on it. And by day 20, I mean, they were loaded. I was like, shit, and they're still loaded and just keep getting more. I'm really pleased. Really pleased. It's kind of redemption run with that, after the whole
fiasco.
Yeah, it's finally getting redemption, because I broke even, if I broke 50-50 on the sex with this pack, and I feel like that's all a man can ask for.
So I was over at Lefty's the other day, and was poking his Bewitched, right? And I'm going through it. I'm like, oh, which one? And he's like, this one over here. Smell this one. And I was like, oh God, that's the one. It's freaking total cupcakes. It's like cupcake. Ah, and that's that specific.
When you say cupcakes, are we talking like you walk in and you smell fresh, like vanilla cupcakes?
Yeah.
Or
like one of those freaking Loft House vanilla cookies or vanilla cupcake. Yeah, like you popped open a fresh box of Loft House. It's like that. And like,
wow. I've never been quite like that, I don't guess.
Like when you got a bunch of different phenos in a room like that, it's not like you walk into the room and smell it, because he's got all kinds of different ones. That's why I was walking around, like, kind of touching the leaves and giving them a little sniff here. Oh, what's that one? And then I like touched and I was like, oh my God, No shit. That was straight, like, yeah, popped a box of Loft House in my face with a little hint of like OG Fuelie. But yeah, I was like, that's freaking bananas. You saved that, right? He gave me an Alien Rift too. I got his Alien Rift #1.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm all happy. But like now I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with it. Like, great, I got a pack of Astro Chimps I just popped live last week. You know what I mean? I got Man of Wars going into flower like soon-ish. I like got to get them transplanted and sexed and flipped over into flower in the not terribly distant future. I was planning on shooting for 2 weeks behind the Jawa Pie runs that I've got in there right now with the, and I'm like, time to shuffle off to Buffalo. Let's see. Did my transfer come through okay? It did.
I want to find out. I'm pretty sure, like those Brisker OG that cloned it, Beast Coast sent me, is really starting to come back to life and bush out. I mean, it's still very little, but it's leamy and it's going to be a good plant. But one thing I'm noticing about it, I'm pretty sure that there is some Alien Rift lineage in that, and I'm starting to see that classic Alien Rift leaf curl up the sides.
Okay. Let's see if I can open this up and screen share this.
Still trying to get that picture up.
It's actually going to be a short video, and I think I can do it like this. Hold on, let me get it loaded up, and I'm going to use this opportunity to go take a little pee-pee too.
Right.
It's time to get some more coffee and use the... Oh, I can hear myself squishing.
I will get a drink. I guess I'll wait till you get back. I'll see you.
Yeah, you gotta see this, dude. Yeah. I mean, it's... I don't know. I don't even think anybody else is... We got 3 viewers, and it's probably me, you, and Doobie. So... so, hold on.
The American one in the chat. Or he was.
Oh, he's still there.
Well,
hold on. Let's screen share. Application window. Oh, well, we'll just do the entire screen, I guess. And now it should be looking at my screen in a big loop of whatever. Now you should be able to see the tree. So can you see that on your screen?
I do.
All right. I shot this yesterday.
And that's the oldest tree in the world. That is an odd looking tree, isn't it, Doobie? Kind of wondering if that one part on the left is part of it. Oh no, I see. Yeah, that's weird looking. Definitely an odd looking tree. Oh, I see. All you see is my logo, Doobie. I don't know why you can't see it. Yeah, because I'm watching it. Huh. That's crazy. So check it out. Doobie says the only thing that he could see was my logo, but I watched the video on my screen.
Really?
Well, now on the YouTube, now my thing's back up.
Let's try playing it one more time and see if it comes through. But you saw the size of that tree, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You see me, you're like, oh, it's right. Oh, no, he's still, oh, God, he's still walking. Oh, God, he's still walking towards it. And it's one of those ones that's not, you know how sometimes you'll get a cluster of trees all grow together?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they all kind of morph into one tree. This is like one that's just one tree that over the years has split into so many like branches rather than being like a cluster. You know what I mean? It comes from one single trunk.
Yeah, you can tell that it's been beat to death.
Yeah, it's ancient, dude. It's mega ancient.
Is there any guess at how old it is?
Oh, here, present to everyone. Maybe that's what I had to do. I would hazard a guess based on what I've heard from some other. Let's see if that. I would hazard a guess at around 5,000 to 6,000 years.
Oh shit!
It's There's some other neighboring trees that have been estimated at 3,000 to 5,000, and they're not nearly that big. And they're like multiple. One of those, you know, those ones that are multiple trees that grew together.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, these ones are like 3,000 years old, and these ones are 3,500 years old. I'm like, dude, this one's older than all those, and nobody knows about it. It's in a totally hidden spot.
Yeah. The new lot where we just moved our business to, the city made us put like those privacy slats, you know, they weave down through the chain link on a fence.
Mm-hmm.
You can get them in different colors, but we're having to put them in, and there's several spots where one of them is a cherry tree, and this thing is probably 16 inches in diameter at the base, and about 4 feet up. The fence is literally in the middle of it. I mean, it's grown. The chain link literally runs through the tree. It's grown through it and around it, and just it's engulfed it. And there's nothing we can do about it. I mean, you can't cut the tree down because of it. You could cut the top. I could cut the top part from the top of the fence up off of the tree, but nonetheless, I've still got that trunk that's grown into my fence. It's really weird.
So can you see the screen now?
Oh yeah.
So here's walking up to that sumbitch.
Yeah, those are great pictures. Up close pictures.
And right next to it, I'll show it on the camera in a second. Right next to the tree, just to the right of it there on the screen, is a rock that makes like a natural throne. See it?
Uh-huh.
There's like a seat on the rock. And you can like recline, lean back. Hell, you could all like totally sleep on that rock if you wanted to.
Man, that'd be a great tree for a fucking tree house.
Oh yeah, dude. You could have a tree freaking mansion up in that thing.
Absolutely. You ever catch that show, Tree House Masters or whatever it is?
Oh yeah. Now right next to this tree, like right across from it, and I'll pan over to it here in a minute in this video that I took after I look at the throne rock. There's the throne rock. But right next to this tree, there's a one-room cottage that has been abandoned for like 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just sitting there, made of concrete and stone, and it has like an aluminum roof on it and whatever. And it's just been abandoned for like 50 years.
Huh. No wonder the vandals haven't torn it down.
Well, where this place is at is really, I mean, really, really rural. I'm a ways out from anything here, and you know, it's not like somewhere that you can just kind of stumble across. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be right back.
Go get your drink. Get your drink on. So let's bring that back down and come back over to our thing and see if anybody has joined us. All right. Stop There we go. So did you get to see that, Doobie? Did it actually come through that time? Yeah. When I say I live out in the woodises, and I don't joke, it's some serious woodises in. I went up on that hike that day to go see the tree and was walking around out in the bush, and I was going to go up to the waterfalls and the creek and stuff and kind of go up a little further, and then like something was crashing through the bushes out there, and I was like all by myself, and I'm like, I didn't even bring a stick or anything with me. I think I'm going to start moseying back down rather than back up this canyon with something up there crashing through the bushes. It was probably just deer, but you know, never know. I had seen both bear and mountain lion prints on that same hike, so you know it would not surprise me at all to run into either one of those large predators out where we live. There's a lot of them. We a couple years ago we had a mountain lion that got caught caching a bunch of dead animals up in a hollow, and there was like a mother and daughter lion combo, and they were just killing all the goats and ponies and sheep and whatever around. Oh, is Snubby Kitty being snubby? There she goes. The coffee shop has a resident cat here that always hangs out and just sits and loves to get pets and stuff. She's been here, 6 or 7 years that I know of, maybe a little longer. Which reminds me of that cat Salem from like Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Speaking of cats. But yeah, we've had a lot of big cat activity up where we're at, and I've stumbled across mountain lions more than once. There's bobcats, there's coyotes, there's coy. What are they? Coy dogs? What do they call those when they're like half hybrid coyote dog things that are like mix of both? Yeah, we get these gnarly giant coyotes out where we're at. All kinds of crazy crap. Oh, damn. We dropped down to 2 viewers at the hour mark. It's a sad day for science. I don't know, must be some kind of like a spring break going on or something. Or were they just mad because I was screen sharing? It's all right. We're going to go. It's the hour mark, so we're going to go take the Doober Eat the Sandwich challenge and then probably go take a walk around the corner and rolling up. Let's see how much of the sandwich Doober can fit in his mouth. Bacon.
So I think I'm just gonna build instead of building a flood table, I will just build a flood table stand that will accommodate my reservoir. I noticed that they have those same kind, those commanders with the yellow lid, you know, that everybody uses. At Lowe's at my place, they now have a 40-gallon.
As opposed to the 27 or whatever the other one was that everybody uses.
They have a 17 and a 27, which is I use a 27 on my flowering plants as well. But I was started to get a 17 just because I only have a 2x4. Table, but I would still rather have. I would like. Let me back up. When I built the flowering flood table, I first used a 17, and it worked. But by the time it rose to a level that it would ebb, the reservoir was just about empty, so there was no room for evaporation. You see what I'm saying? I just about had to add to it before I could use it every time, or while I was using it.
Well, that's kind of what I don't know if I call it an issue, because it's doing all right for me in veg, but that's kind of the same issue that I'm running into in veg, is that I've got a bucket, and I'm only using it. Mine's only a 2x3, a small area too. I'm using like a 5-gallon bucket for the res, and I just let it pump up and then drain down.
Yeah.
And it's working all right. I got to top it off every once in a while, a little more often than I probably would like, and I would like to go with a larger res size, but it does the trick.
Yeah. So I went ahead and got another 27-gallon, and it's just I don't know. I'm used to mixing. It's a 27-gallon tote, but I only mix my newts according to 25 gallons. And
that's good. It leaves you a little splash zone.
Yeah, and because I figure by the time hell, it can evap 2 gallons, or they'll, you know, about every time it runs, they suck up about 2 gallons, maybe a little more. And so I'll have, you know, of course, I'll top it off right after it fills back up and let it rip from there. But with the 27-gallon, I don't have to top it off, you know, through the week unless but like one time. I can top it off one time after like the second feeding, and they're good. But it only runs every other day anyway.
Yeah, the one thing I'm having to watch really closely in the flood and drain is the EC, because it tends to fluctuate a little bit depending on how much evaporation versus transpiration. You know what I mean?
I think because, okay, so lately I've been, last week I was having to trade them out, obviously, but the frozen 2-liter bottles to keep my res temps down. And it worked. So the temperatures outside have come back down around here, and especially at night, like it got to 30 last night, and my my cool air intake, or my fresh air intake, comes up from my basement, and it's like outside temperature down there.
Brr, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it keeps the room regulated pretty well. But what it does also do is it will drive my res temperature down. So when I got in there this morning to check it, it was because I knew it was going to run today. So I checked it, and my pH had dropped from 5.8. It was all the way down to 5.2. And I kind of think
temperature change.
Yeah, well, and so many of them over a few days.
Did you check it with the drops too, as well as the pen?
Yeah.
Like double check? Yeah. Because I know when the temperature drops, the pens go wonky a lot of the time and start to throw all kinds of weird, you know, if you're going below, what is it, like 65 degrees, you're
I hit my pen in the quick reference solution every day. Before I ever use it. I just got I've trained myself, you know, because my biggest fear is plant getting all wonky like that damn master clue.
I've been blessed with the freaking pen that I bought. I've been so happy with it that I don't have to like do that all the time. I calibrate it every couple of 3 weeks, and it never throws an off reading. You know what I mean?
I very rarely have to calibrate mine. When I check it, it's on point.
Well, this one's got that the 1 point calibration. The one I've got has that 1 point. It does EC and pH, and it's a all-in-one calibrator. And it takes a hair longer to run the calibration process. I think I did one on a live stream one time, and everybody was clowning on me. Oh man, it takes forever to calibrate. I go, yeah, but it does everything all at once, and it stays calibrated. You know what I mean? Like I could probably get away with calibrating like once a month or less, but I like to do it every couple of 3 weeks.
Speaking of those wonky plants, throwing the damn, when I say wonky, that's what I mean, starting with the variegated leaves and the fucking single-fingered leaves and shit. Believe it or not, all 4 of my fucking blue dream clones that were supposed to be a lot larger than they are by now, they've been in that fucking same stupor. I messed around a few weeks ago and was giving everything recharge. And I pH my water and mix up my recharge. And each plant gets a 20-ounce bottle of the recharge individually, and I just mix it with that water. And I remember running out of that jug and trying to hurry, and I mixed up, or I went and got another jug. You know, I keep my water in those 5-gallon buckets, but it's not pH'd. It's just dechlorinated. Well,
and the last one you forgot to pH on, huh?
I did. I fucking mixed it right up, the recharge, and poured it in them fucking plants.
Probably hitting them at 7.
At least. Actually, I think it breaks off around 8.4 or somewhere like that. It's above
Jesus, 7. Really? Your tap water's that freaking...
Yeah. Yeah, it's high. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, sure enough. Yeah, it sucks.
My tap's like a perfect neutral 7.
It actually depends on, in the summertime, It's not. It's like 7.5, somewhere in that range. It doesn't get.
It's probably because they chlorinate it more heavily during the warm weather, and that makes it freaking more basic.
I figure that's the same thing. And they also be sometimes, man, once or twice a year they introduce iron to the system, and you can smell that shit. Like you'll come home and your house will just fucking smell different, and it's that goddamn water in the toilet. It is.
They pumped iron in. Doobie 2's 8.5. Jesus. Yeah,
it's nice. Check it out.
Is that off a well though, Doobie? I thought you were on a well.
No, this is UCG.
I thought Doobie was on a well.
Oh
no, he said in chat he says his pH is 8.5.
Oh yeah. But now mine, check it out. When I was mixing newts like in a jug and hand feeding all the time, the first thing I would do is pull up about 5 liters of check this out. Because of my newts would run it down so far, I would take that water, that same water, and the first thing I do is put about 2.5 to 5 milliliters pH up in it. Let it settle. I wouldn't even check it. I just let it settle because I know it's probably way up around 10, and mix everything up, and that shit would be right down in the 6s where I needed it, and just a couple of drops of the down, and put it back in the high 5s and 6.0 where I was running at the time.
Hell yeah. But you were using traditional pH up and down, right?
Yeah.
32665. Who the hell is that? Somebody's messaging me from a short code. All right, I'm gonna switch over to Doober for a second and go take a walk around the corner and maybe make a doobie. Hold on, let me pull up my Discord link here. It's that hour mark. We were at an hour 13. So let's see.
Can't believe none of our gang could join us. That blows.
That is what it is. Yeah. I'm not worried about it.
Life gets in the way, man. I'm a prime example of that shit. Totally forgot about to do my Wednesday update 2 weeks ago. I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to be doing? And that was what it was. But I had been working and like just had too much shit on my plate.
Yep. I feel you. There we go. Am I in? Do I live?
Here, yeah, you can. I can hear you.
Now we will.
It's a nice blue sky.
Yeah, beautiful out here.
It's actually really nice out today. It's a little bit breezy, but as long as you stay in the sun, it's really.
We're gonna dip out to the freaking Doober mobile and roll up a doob.
I hear you. I'm probably getting ready to roll me one. Man, this morning I got up and rolled the very last bud of my Blue Dream and mixed it with some Locomotion. That makes for a really nice flavor.
Do the Loco Dream? Crazy Dream?
Yeah, the Dreamer Train.
Dreamer Train? Oh. I don't know. I can't see chat now, though. I left my thing behind. Left my chat behind. Oh. Now we can just find a pack of papers. Hey, there we go. We got papers. We got herb. Doober's got a new T-shirt, too. Did y'all see?
I see that.
At it.
I'm sporting my my medical resin shirt today.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing Lefty and I were kind of talking about was the potential to kind of make some science gear, you know what I mean, and market that for the benefit of the group.
Sure.
Kind of get some T-shirts and dab mats and shit out there.
I could distribute some of those T-shirts. Me and my brother could rock those. I would like to have the logo on the back.
Well, I'm sure we'll be looking into some designs and stuff here. Lefty wants to get into like bongs and all kind of stuff. I'm like, dude, cool, hell yeah. I'm sure we could rock that shit. Doober's rolling up the Doober. I gotta be the freaking quickest roller I know.
Lefty told me that you were like a hand roll. What did he say? Hand roll snob.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Like I mean, that took me 10 seconds.
The thing that takes me the longest with hand rolling is actually preparing the weed, especially if
Oh,
I don't
no.
have a grinder.
I'm a mad savage. I got them calloused ass fingers, and I just be like crunch, crunch, crunch.
See, I don't like to do that. I feel like I like to cut it with some really sharp scissors. I feel like I'm destroying trichomes if I just mash it all the hell. And usually, like my weed, man, you try to tear that shit up with your fingers and you spend more time trying to get it off your goddamn fingers. It's like a booger, you know?
Yeah, I feel you. I get that sticky, icky on my fingers a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But I spend enough time handling plants and trimming and shit that I get that anyway.
Right. I kind of have, over the years, I don't know, when I first started, man, I put on a set of gloves every time I went in the grow room. But, you know, as time goes on, you learn that it's a little unnecessary. I mean, unless I'm really going to be, I'll put them on when I'm transplanting or something like that, or when I'm trimming or harvesting. But as far as just to go in there and look at my plants and flip leaves over and shit and look at them, I'm not, you know, why waste
the way I feel about it, I came from a background in you know, a lot of years in food service and agriculture, and like it's all about hand washing. You know what I mean? If you keep your freaking environment clean, you keep your freaking grooming clean. You don't go in there and dirty ass shit all the time, dirty ass shit all over your hands.
I have a little one of those mini brooms, you know, like it's a straw broom, but it's just a little handheld job. I run that thing up and down my pants legs and shit when I get home from work. Before I ever go into the grow room, I make, you know, most of the time I'll change clothes into my house clothes, which is just jogging clothes and shit, you know, sweats.
Yeah, I seen dudes use UV wands.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's good.
UV light, and you just run it all over your body,
right?
And kill any mold spores or mildew or insects or, you know, microbes, whatever. Going in for a free ride.
They'll do it. They'll damn sure do it. I figure that's how I got those thrips in there.
Well, shit like that can come from anywhere. A medium, you know, anything.
Yeah, and two, that those clones that the one that I caught those thrips on was in that fucking. It wasn't canna. It was that fucking shit that I was having to use that time. Fuck, I forget the Pure Leaf, some bullshit. Pure Leaf Hydroponics. It's some weird name. But
Some
it's
off-brand.
really, it's I've never seen it before.
I buy off-brand. I buy off-brand a lot, but I'm always really picky about like what the brand is. Like even if it's off-brand, I'm always like looking it over and going, okay, is it washed? Is it buffered? You know what I mean? I don't want to buy nothing that's like cheap and not taken care of.
Right. Yeah.
No, I got no problem buying a brand that's like not canna if it means it's half the price.
Yeah. Now the shit that I'm talking about, you put it in a pot. Well, put it this way: when I expanded the brick, the water that ran off of it immediately, because the first one I did, I put a little bit too much water, and the brick floated for just a minute, and the water turned instantly like a dingy. It looked like iced tea.
Yep.
And now the pack says it's been washed and buffered. It shouldn't have done that. I run water through canna and the water's fucking clear.
Yep.
I mean, until I put.
Yeah, I've had some stuff come out like a hair yellow, kind of like look like piss water, but never like brown. Not that was washed.
Yeah, this shit was orange. Looked a lot like iced tea.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I'm thinking, damn, I'm glad I didn't put my plants in that. Not
Well,
before I washed.
That kind of happens over time anyway, even when using good cocoa, because if you're using microbes or any kind of living shit in your brew or your medium, then you're going to end up breaking down some of that cocoa, and it's going to end up teeing off anyway. You know what I mean?
Well, no, yeah, I know once I be growing in it, I know that the runoff's going to be different color.
Yeah.
But shit,
As
we never
you add those nutrients in, and they the acids in them break down the cocoa, and the microbes in the mix break down the cocoa. You get runoff that kind of starts getting dingy, but off the bat that should be pretty clear. I mean, I would like I said, if it looks like piss water, okay, but if it looks like iced tea, that means that shit ain't been washed thoroughly at all.
Right on. My usually when I go to flush that first one, the first heavy flush, sometimes the second one, I'll put like 10 milliliter clean in the water into a gallon, and you can really it will be like you say, look like piss up from that point on. And check this out. I found. Well, I'm probably not the only person to do it, but here's what I started. The other Blue Dream, the one I'm still flushing, it is 7 or 8 days behind the one that I just cut. So, but I'm flushing it. So yesterday, might have been the day before, I hit it real good. I gave it like a gallon and a half, and it was running off really well. But it runs off to a point and then just stops. And I picked the pot up and it was really heavy, and they're fabric pots, right? Yeah. So I got an old beach towel and folded it up real thick into a square. It was probably 4 inches thick, and I set that fabric pot and plant on it and let it wick that water back out. So the next day, it was quite light. So I hit it again.
Let it wick down. You were like making a wick.
Right. Drawing that water back out of it from the bottom. And so I wrung the towel out and the water was fairly clear. I was a bit surprised. So I'm going to do it again. Kind of speed up my process, hopefully.
All right, I'm going to get back into my coffee and jump back on the science thing so I can see chat. I smoked half my doobie or better. Here, we'll take one more rip off it for chat. If you're out there ripping, chat, here's the rip for you.
I can't tell how many's watching. Let's see here. 4. Huh? I got 4 of us.
That's more than there was. Drop my clipper. I got a handful of these coming in the giveaway, too. I picked up a bunch of them cheap.
Is that those cones?
No, it's the lighter.
Oh, I hear you. Okay.
That's just regular raw clipper.
Yeah.
Hold on here. Let me drop out as Doober. I can jump in over here. You can't hear me because I'm muted, but I'm not muted now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Green Diamond and Doobie were over there freaking chatting in chat with each other while we were wandering around. Where the hell did I stick my coffee cup?
I've developed a bit of a headache.
Uh-oh. Am I giving you a headache?
Oh, no, it ain't you. It's just, I don't know. Been a hectic morning, especially for a Sunday. What happened, man, is I had a lot to do yesterday, and I wound up having to get up and go to work yesterday morning, and that part wasn't planned. But
you weren't anticipating having to get up and go to work. I got you.
Yeah, it was a Saturday, but the opportunity arose, and it was just a really good deal. So I went to work for a few hours. Hell, I was back home at 11:30, but that threw me off several hours. So I wanted to get a lot done, and I ended up pushing a lot of it to today. And I rushed around all morning to get it all, the majority of it done, with the exception of the reservoir and getting all that plumbed in, um, so that I could hang out with the game,
Aw, and
and
then
not
it was
have to
just
run
me and
around
you.
well, no, it's no big deal. I mean, I just wanted to be able to join in and not have to be back and forth and
Run
be
around.
distracted.
You set your time aside. That's all right. We'll get
Yeah.
into the habit of it here as spring comes. Hopefully, we'll build more into it, and we'll get more of a regular vibe going. It is what it is. Like I said, I ain't bending nobody's arm. It's just a nice place to hang out and sesh and talk some shop. And if folks enjoy it and tune in, that's great.
I thought the last couple weeks now we've had a pretty good viewing audience. I thought.
Yeah, you know what I didn't do today because I was so super tied up with my own crap. I didn't bother putting out like Instagram notifications, and you got to realize when I put out those things and I make sure that everybody gets tagged and put out those things, we get a lot more traffic. Whenever I'm actually like pumping it hard, when I just pop up a stream, people show up, and especially on this channel being newish, you know what I mean, where we've only got here. Put it in these terms. This channel has 21 subscribers, I want to say.
Yeah.
And if we've had 4 or 5 people watch, that's like, a quarter of our subscribership. That's good. In order we have to have, put it in terms like this, in order to have the same kind of viewership that we've got right now with the 4 people watching, we'd have to have 100+ people watching Doober Monday. And I've never seen that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool.
So 4 out of 21 is awesome. That would be the equivalent of having 100 out of 500. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So if we're, I feel like we're doing really good with the SciEnts channel, having even 4 or 5 people on here, or 10 or whatever we can get, in a show is great for a fresh channel just starting out. This being our like 6th broadcast or whatever. It's not like we've been doing this long, only a month and a half, and getting people to show up on the reg, even if it is just our regular guys from chat, Doobie and Green Diamond holding it down over there. It is what it is. It's great.
Yep.
It ain't gonna stop me. I'll keep showing up. But we probably won't run late today. I gotta go do some more errands and run around and meet and talk and get shit figured out anyway. So
yeah.
Anyway.
So
that's what I was saying. I got a great deal on a bunch of these clipper lighters. I don't know if have you used these before undercover?
Oh yeah. You don't really see clippers around here that much anymore.
They got the pull out packer.
Right. You don't really see them around here that much anymore, even in the head shops. There's a few what we call Indian stores around that have them. The 7-Elevens that are owned by the towelheads.
Oh, careful with that. Our 4 viewers might freak out. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think we will.
But I get you. I always say not the ha-ha kind, but the ha-ha kind.
Yeah, them too. So I've lost a damn. I was looking in my seed pack, and you remembered me talking about I was going to try my first auto, and it was called a 60-day wonder.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know what the fuck I done. It should be right here, but
the whole pack is missing.
Well, it's one seed in a one of those little envelopes, and it's got the label on it. But I had it laid out here, the hell, this whole week, and I don't remember moving it for any reason. So what the fuck did I do with it? I think it has like fell in behind my my whole little setup.
The whole
here.
packet and everything, right? Not just the seed.
Right. It's still in there.
You'll probably find the packet eventually and be like, sweet.
Yeah. But I was digging in the bag, man, and I thought that was the only one that I had, besides the ones that Doobie sent me. But I also found it's a critical Jack Harrer, it's called.
Is that from resin?
Yeah. It was it was in some of that he sent me, but it's called Critical Jack Hair Auto. But I didn't lose it. I've still got it sitting here. Where the fuck did that other?
Hey, Doobie, if you ever want to join us, you're welcome. You like UCG don't show his face. Green Diamonds is up here now with us.
What's up, fellas?
He ain't showing his face, so that's fine. You can get on here and talk, and you ain't gotta show your face. Or like I said earlier in the show, I have no problem being the face of the network or whatever. Even though I actually have my camera off right now, I guess I could show my own face, but whatever.
Yeah, I look like the fucking Elephant Man, and I don't want y'all to see that.
I don't believe it, but okay. I will take your word for it.
You know what I look like. You seen me briefly once.
Yes, I've seen you, but you don't look like the Elephant Man. I mean, come on, I don't buy that. So what's going on, Green Diamonds?
How are you guys?
Man, join us for the back nine?
Yeah, I've been busy morning. Been busy day.
I feel you.
Hard in the bedroom, huh?
Yeah, man, we moved 2 more girls to flower. I got grapefruit that is 58 inches tall right now in the bucket.
Yeah. Hell
48 inches across, and if I don't super crop it tomorrow, it will be through the lights.
Jesus. Wow. Yeah, I got
everything else is good right now.
That's one of my big issues with this whole move right now is I got 8 ladies that are 5 feet tall.
Wow.
And they're day 7 since the flip. And I'm like, they haven't even started to stretch, and I need somewhere with freaking room. And oh my God. That's what I was talking about, maybe taking them somewhere else where I can spread them out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Rather than let them go tall, I could throw a net over the top of them right now and kind of spread them out and maybe get more out of them.
Right. Yeah, we figured out that this grapefruit that we run, this pheno, is just ridiculous. How quickly it grows. And we've got to do either we're going to run multiple clones of that one, and just kind of not like monocrop it, but just run a few of them together. And then, and then just try to, we talked about, because, we figured out right now, 12 in flower it's packed. So,
hell yeah.
10's more comfortable. You guys saw those pictures I posted up earlier. But I just added Girl Scout Cookie and Chem Dog to the flower room, and it is, packed. It's packed.
And I've got all my, I'm kind of in the same boat with all my crap stuffed in the corner right now, under a single light. And I'm like, dude, if I could spread this out more and whatever, each one of these bitches would have a 3-foot canopy across the top, easy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but like right now, they're all kind of jammed up next to each other.
That grapefruit stretch is 48 inches across. That's before I super crop her tomorrow.
Yep.
She'll be 55, 60 inches across.
She's overdoing it.
I'm telling you right now, she's outperforming. She's the one that has a root ball that's the same size as the bucket. Looks like a plunger.
Hell yeah, that is awesome.
And then the clone is first week in its own res out of the aeroponic, so it's at week 3 from being chopped. It's already 14.5 inches tall. The stalk's as big around probably as your middle finger already.
God.
And the root ball that it's already developed in that short period of time from nothing to what it is now is bigger than a softball. And just, it's amazing. It's amazing. This pheno, if it produces on the back end, when we harvest, she's going to be around a long time. There'll be folks wanting cuts of that. She grows like wildfire.
Hey, man.
Yeah, that's another thing Lefty and I were talking about this morning before the stream was the perpetuation of kind of exotic cuts, getting those real fire cuts, and then keeping those in the community. You know what I mean?
Well, we were talking about how we were going to reset everything because we know we want to do that. Because you got to break it down and clean it and do those things. So we're trying to figure out what that's going to look like. And I said, well, we'll just have to pick a spot. And, we want to try and get away for a week or so for some vacation. You know how difficult that can be. And so we're going to probably, when we get ready to reset the room, we're just going to chop everything and set up clones.
Wait. You just threw me a curveball. You said you're trying to get away for a vacation.
Yeah.
We all know how that is.
Yeah.
No, don't assume my gender, man. I have literally never taken more than 4 days off in my life in a row.
No, I don't mean it like that. But when you grow cannabis, you don't hardly have a vacation.
You don't.
Right you're as far as from work or anything else, we generally
there is no vacation. That's what I'm saying. There is no vacation.
Well, that's what we're trying to. We want to go visit.
Automate so that you can a little bit.
Right, and the way I grow, it's difficult. So what we figured is, I know that my clones will run 2 weeks minimum in our aeroponics. So I feel confident in the system, provided we didn't have any kind of power outage. I feel confident that my clones, when I got back, would have roots and ready to be moved as soon as we got back when we reset. So that's what we're going to do.
That way you've got
everything right.
Your time schedules down so that you can bank on a little free time in between a certain activity.
Right. So we're going to do that, but that's going to be a little while out. I got to learn all these different strains and what they do and how long they take. So I'm learning
that's one of the real benefits with working a monocrop is the fact that you can kind of, and I've been so enamored with the idea of running a monocrop because I've been doing nothing but testing and running multi-packs of different phenos and running seed from seed over and over and over and over again. And I'm like, okay, so I need to friggin' stop doing this and I need to start doing some production runs because like I said, I don't have a day job at the moment, and I've been doing this for a living. And while it's been doing okay, it hasn't been making any gigantic moves for me because A, I'm doing what I'm doing in the pheno lab, and B, I'm too nice, and I try and treat everybody right. You know what I mean? It makes it hard. There's a lot of pirates out here in this game making a lot of money hand over fist, treating people like crap, but I refuse to sacrifice my ethics for $1. So unfortunately that means that it's going to be a slower rise to the monetary top for me because I refuse to sell out my my own ethics and my own dignity for $1.
Right. If you're growing something that's got this work, that don't devalue your product either. So make sure that even though the people around go, oh well, this is all this is what it's worth. You know what you put into it and time and energy.
And while I understand that as well, I have a big thing about kind of I'm a social justice warrior out here in the freaking West Coast, and I'm trying to fight for people having good meds at a reasonable price as well. And being that that's my pulpit, I feel awkward charging more than like a fair price for my meds. And I was talking with Lefty about that before. I was like, dude, all these guys that we're working with, we're stuck out here in the freaking West Coast where the price is set kind of, and they're all in these wonderful, I mean, it's terrible because you got to worry about all the freaking legal aspects of things and whatever, but it's also wonderful in the fact that it's just got so much better of a price point in places where it's less legal, you know what I mean?
Right.
But like here's the deal is the out here people don't pay that extra premium because the risk is less. So you can't go, well, I'm risking my what are you risking? There's not really a huge risk out here unless you're blowing some kind of crazy ass, factory apart. There's no risk.
Right.
So people are like, whatever, I'll only pay what I think it's worth.
and then that's okay. And if you're in a position where you have to take that, then I understand that too. I'm not going to, begrudge anybody for that. I just, sometimes the value's there and then sometimes it's not. So we all know when it's really good and it's worth a little bit extra, and when it's not so good and not worth extra. And I understand that, but I've always that's why I said part of it's because I'm too nice and I'm that guy that's like, I'll just eat it no matter what, whether it's great or middling. I'll same price, I'll charge you what they're charging for mids for the good stuff. and I understand. Like we got, I told you what we just pulled from that sour diesel. And speaking of which, what time does your mail run?
Oh, afternoon, 2-3 o'clock.
Okay, it won't be in time for the show then.
Probably not, but
Right.
we can do it. We can do a special episode during the week.
Okay. Yeah,
I've been talking about meeting up. I said, Lefty, if he's gonna provide some samples, we got to meet up together to do this, like straight up Vader Ninja style taste buds,
Yeah, absolutely. That would be exciting. Really cool. For sure.
Yeah, that's the idea. At least I told. Yeah, and the Chili 99 is you're flipping, and I just flipped a week ago, Doobie. So I'm hoping too. I'm hoping that Chili 99 is fuego. It looks absolutely beautiful. It's one of the prettiest plants I've ever grown. And it's beautiful, healthy, happy, and I've got a nice cut of my keeper. So and we got some beans we've passed out in the community, and we're passing more too. So we'll get those out, Doobie, and they are looking fire. I'll get you some of those in kind there, green diamonds, so you can run some of them jillies.
I'll do it
because they're fun. That's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful genetics that Doobie did over there. Oh, hop snapple crap. Yeah, I just flipped the Jawas. That's the thing. It's like I'm in the now I gotta move, and I just a week ago flipped 2 Jawa Pi 7s, 2 Jawa Pi 6s, a Ninja Fruit number 9, the Pineapple Express, and the chili, and what was the other one I did? Jawa number 9, maybe last Jawa number 9, might be. Yeah, I just flipped a whole run, and they're all monsters now. I gotta shuffle them off to Buffalo, but hopefully we can get them spread out under a little more light and get a little more canopy out of them somewhere else, and get a better thing going for them.
Now, are you going to reset up the TIE Fighter, or are you just going to do a different type setup?
I don't know. It's all kind of up in the air right now. The shed that the TIE Fighter is installed in is not mine to keep, so I don't get to lug that with me when I move. It's attached to the property, not to me. So unfortunately, the actual TIE Fighter, that doesn't mean I can't get another shed down the line or whatever, but we're looking at some other options of stuff to do, and hopefully we'll get something going, both an indoor and possibly I might have a nice outdoor crop coming up this year too. So we'll see what happens. Wheelchair. Hey, we got another viewer from somewhere. Where did you come from? I got to pop up participants in chat and see who's here. Oh, it's nobody. It's just Doobie and us. Nobody's in chat. What the hell?
Looks like the weather's better there for you.
Oh, yeah. Finally out of the snow and rain and sleet and snow and rain and sleet. And yeah, hopefully we're going to... Yeah, I don't know if I'll have the Star Destroyer. We'll see. We might upgrade the TIE Fighter. We might downgrade the TIE Fighter. We might go to the Imperial Shuttle. I don't know. We'll see. Might take a sidestep for a minute here, but we'll see how it works out. But yeah, I'm not going to stop. I'm definitely going to keep pushing forward with content and stuff. And like I said, you weren't here for these earlier green diamonds. I don't know if you saw, but these are going to be coming out soon. You saw that?
Wow, okay. Yeah. Very cool.
No, it gets cooler.
Oh, wow.
Where's it's upside down. Sorry. You
relative
see that.
Humidity and temperature.
Yep.
Nice.
Built in, and it's inside, and they're swing tops with nice silicone seals, and you can even convert them from Fahrenheit to Celsius. So whichever your preferred method of temperature reading is, they are universal compatible. And they're completely disassemblable and washable, and they have this neat little chalkboard on the front where you can use a chalk marker and then mark your whatever you got in there date-wise and everything. And that's about a 100-gram jar. You could fit a QP in there if you got some good dense stuff.
Right.
They're pretty nice size.
Hey, Doober.
Yo.
I'm calling from my telephone. So
what?
And I'm gonna switch to my
you're switching devices? If we lose you or you bump out for a minute or whatever, you bump up it and turn a different color?
Yeah, he'll turn a different color. It'll be blue. Oh no, He's orange twice.
He's orange twice. He's two orange guys now.
All right, I'm gonna duck off on this one.
Yeah, we did that earlier on me. And now he's just here once. But yeah, I'm gonna start producing those jars. I'm gonna do a pre-order run here that's gonna cut off in a couple of weeks, and then I'll do the first batch of them, and then we'll see how many we can flip over. But I think I can get $10 a pop for those, and that would still be fair for everybody, and they'd get a good product for a good value.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
It looks nice. Definitely
So this way I can talk to you guys and proceed to build my table for my, for what I need, my flood table.
You getting ready to build that, and you're building it out of PVC, you said?
Well, the one that I have one of those one of those modular shelves, that has, it's just a shelf and then the four legs, and then it'll sit down into a top of another one and so on.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like
the HDX shelving.
Pretty much, yeah. And it has 2-inch PVC is the legs on it.
Oh, okay. So you're just going to slide some like 2.5 or whatever over that.
I'm not even going to use it.
Inside.
I'm not even going to use it. I was messing around, and a table that I took out of the grow to put my tent in there is the perfect size. I'm just going to put longer legs on it so that to raise it up, and then the res will go under there just fine, and I'll have plenty of access to my hoses to slide the res out, and it'll work great. It's actually 2 foot wide, what I need.
A perfect fit.
Yep, pretty much. And it's when I put the legs where they should go, then I'll have about 2 inches on either side of the res, so I'll be good.
You know me, I'm always down for repurposing stuff. If there's anything you can use twice and save $1,
damn straight.
That's all. I'm all about that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, all right, we're coming up on that 2-hour mark anyway, and you're trying to get into a project, and Green Diamonds is on mute. So we've been here for almost 2 hours. I got some business to attend to. You got some business to attend to. I'm sure Diamond's got some work to do. That's why he was late getting here. So we're gonna probably wrap it up here since there's only a couple of people watching anyway, and I doubt we're gonna. Oh, look, we're down to one. All of a sudden, we said we're gonna wrap it up, and they're gone. We're probably gonna wrap it up. We'll leave it here. Don't forget to check out Doober Monday tomorrow. We'll hopefully get a little more of a panel together at a more reasonable hour. We'll see who's working and who's not or whatever. But we'll be here regardless, and I'll probably drag Lefty in for a little while as well. See if we can get Ghost and the whole gang all kind of together for a minute because. This is tomorrow. I'll have links up for the jars and on pre-order and the more information about the boost supplement that I'll be kicking out as well. So that'll be the kind of official launch for that Tamada.
Cool deal.
Check that out.
Like a plan.
And don't forget to go check out Green Diamonds and UCG on Instagram and UCG on. Oh, Apprentice has been here listening the whole time. He's just been absent from chat. He's our one viewer. He's our last and lonely one.
Wow.
Yep.
But go check out everybody's feed. Check out the Science Network. Don't forget to share, subscribe. Play the YouTube game. You know how I do.
Oh yeah.
Science community dedicated. Thank you, Apprentice. Even though you couldn't come in, you could still tune in, and I appreciate it. All right, brothers. You guys got anything parting words to say before we wrap this up and sign her off?
No, once again, I appreciate both of you very much.
Cool, man.
Well, thank you all for participating in the community and being there day in, day out and treating the new guys coming in well and showing them the ropes. I appreciate that for the new folks that have been trickling in lately. So we'll see everybody, on Discord, and don't forget to tell a friend.
Cool.
So thank you all for joining, Mr. Doober.
Diamond, keep blowing it up, man. I've been watching the picture or looking at those pictures you put up this morning. I think it was, and that looks great, man. Awesome, good work.
Everything's budding out. Everything's coming right in. So I'm curious to see what kind of yields we can get per plant. That's my goal.
I hear you.
See if I can get some. You know, I want to get to that pound per plant. That's my goal.
I got you, buddy.
Maybe
All
I
right.
can do it without CO2, but I may have to go CO2. We'll see.
Awesome.
If you're even approaching it without CO2, you'll hit it with CO2 for sure.
Fuck yeah.
Well, that last
All right,
one was
y'all.
11, so we'll see.
Peace out.
Peace, guys.
I'm going to sign it off here. We will see y'all in Discord, and tomorrow on our Doober Monday. Thank you all for joining us, and peace out.
See you guys.